Today's game will be all about the turnovers. The Patriots are top 10 in turnover differential, and they'll be up against the Seahawks team looking to avoid a costly mistake. With that, let's get out to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis, with this Week 10 matchup.
Thank you very much, Larry. While the skies may be ominous, there's never a bad day for football. Coming up is a rematch of that memorable Super Bowl 49 between the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at this Patriots team entering play. They come in riding high, just one loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. To return, this is Doug Baldwin, and his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And when I think of Russell Wilson, I think not just of the big plays that he's made, and those are considerable, but when they were made. 4th and 26 in a Big Ten championship game against Michigan State when he was with Wisconsin. A big completion helped lead his team to a victory. A big 4th down throw for a touchdown in an NFC championship game against the San Francisco 49ers. When the chips are down, this guy plays at a big level.
Here's the offense. Certainly some threats on this offense, and one of them that they target is Doug Baldwin.
Not only does he do a nice job catching the ball downfield, he's also a tremendous blocker that helps unleash the running game.
And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And he dropped it. Now it was tipped, altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it, and now 4th down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
So here come the Patriots getting ready on offense. And they're led out by a guy who's done just about everything you could ever imagine to do in this league, the great Tom Brady.
It's been a lot of fun watching him develop in his career. But that will to win, he's had that probably since birth, and it transmits itself throughout his entire ball club. Watching him play, it can be an absolute joy unless you're on the other team.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Now Brady throwing on 2nd down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. This is the offense we're going to see coming up in this one, and LeGarrette Blount, the featured back.
The big knock on him coming out of college was his lack of speed, but it's definitely not his lack of power. He runs right through opposing tacklers and sets things up big for his offense. A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Here's Brady to throw. Amendola catching it left side. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Now the 4-year man out of Louisiana Tech, that's Ryan Allen, on to kick this one away. Doug Baldwin deep here for Fielded just inside the 20. 12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make it 2nd down. A quick look here at the Patriot defense.
You have to love Jamie Collins. You can use him just about anywhere on the defense. Inside linebacker, outside linebacker, defensive end. He might even play a little bit of safety if you give him the chance.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. Now Wilson on 2nd down. And he hits Jermaine Kearse. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. I would not want to be an offensive lineman in today's NFL, especially not a center or a guard, if you got to deal with these massive defensive tackles who could not just beat you with strength, but they can beat you with quickness and guile as well. They can get upfield and make plays. And a lot of times what they're taught, just go ahead and tackle everyone that comes in your area and keep the run with the ball.
And Graham's got it over the middle. It's a gain of 5, and they're going to have a 3rd down. We're still in search of the 1st down after that last completion. And good to see Jimmy back out there moving okay after the ruptured patella in Week 12 last year. You've dealt with that injury, haven't you?
I have, and let me tell you, you know that expression, I feel your pain? I felt Jimmy's when it happened. Now, mine didn't happen quite the same way his did. His happened in the line of duty. He was playing in a game. For me, I was just coaching and went up to try and catch a pass. Poof. I think for me, it was just mainly age. For him, he was actually playing.
But good to see him back out there healthy. They go play action here. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Jabal Sheard. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves him with 14 yards still to go on 3rd down. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. And they'll add a DB in the secondary here on 3rd and 14. 3rd and long, it's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
And the Patriots gearing up to go now. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That, too.
Amendola's got it, complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. And a look at Seattle's defense.
Cam Chancellor is one of the best safeties in the game, but with his linebacker size, that allows the team to use him wherever they want to make plays.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. They come out here in the eye. They'll run again with Blount. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
But when it comes to the running game, the New England Patriots, they're one of the few teams in the NFL that I don't think care much about balancing things out.
Last year, to your point, 5th in passing yardage, number 30 in the run game.
What they want to do each and every week is make a game plan based on their opponent, not so much their own personnel, and they try to attack that way.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
So 1 quarter in the books. It's a rematch of Super Bowl 49. 0-0 our score, and we'll return to Foxborough after this. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Patriots in possession to begin quarter number 2. They'll need to convert a 3rd and 7, though, to start things out. Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. Sets up the screen to Lewis. And, he spins past him and into space. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
If there was one area that the coach emphasized in our pregame meeting, it was red zone offense.
And the sense I got from it, and I think you did as well, they weren't real happy with how they were executing previously, so they put a lot of time and effort into it because getting points is paramount.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Face mask. Defense.
Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
On first down, Brady. And that's caught by Gronk for a Pats touchdown. Rob Gronkowski, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Patriots have taken the lead.
Sometimes when I see these types of plays executed, I think of basketball. Guys boxing other guys off to go out and get a rebound.
And he got the rebound right there. But the defense was really placed well.
Yeah, they were right there. I mean, that's where it's really tough for a defender. When you're in the right spot, you're draped on the guy catching the ball, yet he still comes down with it.
And he gets it to make it 7-0 Patriots. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Penalty marker is down here. And with a new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Yes, that's today's NFL defensive tackle. Not just a space eater anymore. A guy with agility, movement skills, who can rush the passer and make plays in the offensive backfield.
And a long way to go for the offense here on second down. They go play action now. Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you go way more conservative to finish the half, you know? I think that's the way they'll go.
Here's John Ryan now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first.
Block in the back. Return team.
Blunt, the lone running back. And they'll give it to him here. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes a really good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and they ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
It's a pickup of 21, and it'll give the Patriots a first down. Ah, yes, Brady to Gronk. You think these two are in sync?
Without a doubt. And look, they both understand what they can do for each other. Gronk knows if he gets open, the ball's going to be there. And Tom Brady knows what a great security blanket Gronk is. When all else fails, you find big 87.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Brady gives now to Blunt. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. Again, here's Blunt, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. So now a 3rd and 12 with an extra defender here in the secondary, a nickel look. To throw, it's Brady. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. It looked like he might have had a window there, but the rhythm was just a little bit off.
It certainly was, because everything that has to come together to get a pass completed, yeah, you're right. The sync just wasn't there.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
An extra corner on the field for New England here on 3rd down.
Yeah, another DB. On 3rd down, Wilson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. And give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Foxborough after this. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Larry Ridley will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And left side here, it's Graham. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Give him 7 on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Give him 3 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
Here's John Ryan now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And I don't think Edelman will be able to get to this one. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. And now out come the Patriots. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Now Brady throwing on second down. And did he get the feet down? No. They'll say he did not. It's incomplete.
That was a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong. He's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more. This challenge was initiated by the guys in New York. Taking a look at the play, less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach wanted to challenge it, so he's probably going to... Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Brady. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Second down following the incompletion. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Brady will try again on second down. Over the middle, it's Amendola. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. So still in search of the first down after that last completion. Brady to throw again. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
So we've reached halftime here at Gillette Stadium with the Patriots on top. As we'll send you down the coast to Orlando where we check in with our friend Larry Ridley and the EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
So here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Patriots have it at the 14. TB12, Tom Brady connecting on a pass into coverage. And he caps off the 6-play drive with the score. Patriots up by a touchdown. About halfway through the second, Brady's going to find his mark. And the pass and catch will end up going for 21 yards. Later on the drive, they'd stall out and settle for a field goal. Patriots with the football late in the half. Bennett here will get to the QB for the sack. This will go as a loss of 10. So that'll do it for us here in Orlando. For the call of the second half, let's hand it back over to Brandon and Charles. Brandon.
That's fielded in the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll begin here with Blunt, and he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you stop the clock, and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
But that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
They'll run it here with Blunt, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, we just saw the recipe for success right there. Big body, strong, agile, playing with great leverage in hands. Not really able to be blocked on that play. Close things down inside.
Offense needs something here on 2nd down. It is 2nd and long. Blunt, the lone running back. He'll get the football here. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
When the 4-3 defense is functioning really well, you know who stays what we call clean and no one gets to him? The guy playing the middle linebacker position, the guy we call Mike. That means the defensive front is eating up all the blocks and just let him go to the football and make a play.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. To throw, it's Brady. Sets up the screen to Lewis. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two. When you put together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
There's Wilson to throw. He'll dump it off to Procise. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards, and it'll be third down. Let's see if they can convert here on 3rd and 3. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 2nd and 10. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Back out for another drive comes LeGarrette Blount. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's getting off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case, that was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. Now Blount. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know back when you played, it took 4 of you to take a guy like that down, right?
Well, that's for sure. And you know what else? I didn't want to challenge him at dinner either. Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He don't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field in this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Wilson. The grab made by Kearse over the middle. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him 6 on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down. So completion on 2nd down, that brings up 3rd. To throw is Wilson. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Alex Carrington able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Here's John Ryan now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Patriots take over. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this.
And Blount loses the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Second down now after the pass completion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. Another pistol look here. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down. Offense coming up, needing 2 yards on third down. Now a handoff here to his running back. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up first and goal.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Only a yard that time, second and goal.
What a game this defense has played. They're pitching a shutout, so it'd be fun to watch down the stretch to see if their defensive coordinator continues to be as aggressive as he's been all game long.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. That's complete right around the 8. And he showed some fancy footwork on the juke, but then quickly taken down. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to bring up an interesting third and goal.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. They got to have 6 here. It's third and goal. Wilson now off the bootleg. That's caught at the 3. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on fourth and goal.
Completed pass brings up a fourth down situation. Do you play analytics on this one? Well, you know, what do your analytics tell you about going for it here? I wonder what they would say.
They tell me you're down by this margin, fourth quarter, you're going. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And Hauschka's kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. All right, so you needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal then maybe not exactly what they wanted, but it's a necessary first step.
Still plenty of time remaining, but you could really use a stop defensively after the kickoff, preferably a 3 and out.
Now after the made field goal, Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. Danny Amendola on the return. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So the Patriots coming out now. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Now Brady. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up third.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Second down, sack by the defense. What type of pressure will they bring here on third? We'll see. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Surveying the field, and he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down. Here's Ryan Allen now. standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Baldwin now to return. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. Now the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
And Graham's got it over the middle. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down. You're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
Time starting to run out here in the 4th. This defense just trying to keep the offense off the board and preserve this potential victory. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Going to give this time to the tailback. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. Unfortunately, he's able to recover himself, but the clock's still rolling here. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Back to throw. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. John Phillips, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up.
Love the excitement we've got going here. They just scored the touchdown. They're down by 1. How much fun is it now to figure out the possibilities? Kick the extra point and tie it. Go for 2 if they're really feeling in a gambling mood. What do you do in this situation?
I think you kick the PAT.
Yeah, I do too. Kick it, get my defense ready, and try and stop them one more time.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And quickly they get to the line. To throw is Brady. Escapes the sack. Look at the time. And there's a flag on the field. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They're on the outskirts of field goal range here in a tie game with a little time. So how do you handle this? What do you do here, Charles?
Everybody wants to pick up as much yardage as possible. But the weird part is for field goal kickers, being in really close sometimes puts more pressure on them because it's much more of a position kick as opposed to just going ahead and letting it out and letting it thump. A lot of guys like a little bit of distance because you know they can handle it, and it's a more natural swing of the leg.
So maybe getting inside the 20, not that big of a deal.
Not that huge of a deal. Sometimes that messes you up with the angles depending on which hash mark you're kicking from.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion.
And there's a good opportunity to just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Now Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Well, time not on their side here. In fact, a lot going against them. They do have a small glimmer of hope.
No one likes to play extra football. They want to go for the win right now.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to maneuver. Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Now a handoff as they run left side. Now whistles blow, and the Patriots are going to take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll at least get them inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. He's made one, and he's missed one thus far. This for the win. And this one is good. Steven Hauschka delivering in the clutch. And they will take the lead at 13-10. What a tough loss. I mean, it's one thing to lose a shootout. Losing a low-scoring game, kind of deflating because your offense never really got going.
Your defense gains confidence, though. They understand that they can play with anyone in the league. They'll be on the side of the offensive guys the next week saying, come on, fellas, just pick it up a little bit.
So for the Seahawks, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for New England, it's just their second loss so far to go along with their 7 wins. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Foxborough, good night, everybody.